everybody. It's the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast with your host, Huge Pop Scott. With next to me is Cody Cornett. Next to him is Rico. Big B Bryson's on the bottom with Nikki D. How you guys doing? We just got off of WrestleMania 40 and the Raw after WrestleMania 40. We're going to spend some time talking. We're hopefully going to share the screen and give our thoughts on WrestleMania 40, night 1 and night 2. And I do not have the match list there, so you guys will have to help me.
Give me one.
And we can do Raw. So
well,
I am going to let you guys go first because I have very little to say about WrestleMania. I loved it. But I can feed off what you guys say.
Yeah. If you guys want to watch Matt and Scott's reactions, the video will be going up tonight and have at it on there. But for us four, let's get into it.
You guys.
So the first match, Rhea versus Becky.
Correct.
So Cody, I've been waiting to hear your thoughts on this one. How do you think that match went, man?
Okay, so you really want to hear my thoughts? You sure?
Yes, I do.
Are you positive?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's put it this way. Rhea Becky, the promo and the story that they told for Rhea Becky should have been told for Bayley Io, and the promo for Bayley Io should have been, and the story should have been for Becky Rhea. They flip-flopped the stories, and the intensity of Bayley Io did not match their story, where the intensity of Becky Rhea did not match their match.
I have to agree, man. That's pretty well put right there.
I follow. Yeah, that makes sense.
But all in all, that was a good match. It was not terrible whatsoever. You know, it showed, Becky's resilience, but Rhea's dominance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think on Friday's show, or Monday's show, we called it the Michael Jordan flu when he played with the flu and scored like 50 points.
Oh, yeah.
Becky had 102 fever, man. And she performed like a beast.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I missed the question. I got some audio issues. So, what was the question?
Rhea Becky, what's your take?
How you doing, Dad?
Overall, I enjoyed the match. But I didn't know that Becky was sick until literally yesterday. So I was like, man, well, Becky really didn't perform like we're accustomed to. But the right woman won. I don't think Rhea deserved to. She don't need to lose just yet, like anytime soon. I don't think. But because I don't think she's feuding with the right one that needs to take her title, which is Jade Cargill, in my opinion. But
wait, sorry. Can you say that one more time? Can you say it one more time?
Don't say it one more time.
Here.
Jade Cargill needs to take Rhea's title. That's just my.
Whoa! You muted yourself there.
No, I muted him.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure. So,
good call, Huge Pop.
You might mute me, Scott. I agree with that, but she has to win the Rumble next year.
Yeah.
To set up for Rhea next year at Mania. I think Rhea should hold it till next WrestleMania. Get that Roman ideal for Jade Cargill to have that win. I don't think that she should go to Backlash France and beat the living piss out of Rhea Ripley and just get that title. I would.
No, I'm not saying
She's got to work her way up, just like everyone else. Got to work your way up.
Oh, yeah, because Ronda did.
Ronda's Ronda, though.
Yeah.
Right. I know. That was different, I guess.
Yeah, you got a point, but, Ronda's...
I don't think Jade's as big as a crybaby as Ronda is, so...
Oh, that's fair.
And plus, Ronda could probably kill half the people back there, so...
Also fair.
Yep. I was going to say, all I kept thinking about, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but remember Becky, you could tell she was off a little bit, and it made me think about when Michaels wrestled Psycho Sid.
Mhm.
And this was back in the day, and Michaels had a temperature of like a 102 or 103, and you could just see something was off. That was years before like social media and all the news and like Twitter or X or whatever. So you didn't know he was sick until afterwards. And for her to go out and perform like she did, plus being the match that kicks off the show, that's so much pressure. And my wife and I, she even said it too. She commented a couple of those bumps that Becky took, like, gosh, that when you're that sick and your head is pounding, you know that crap hurt. Like, so she worked her butt off, being as sick as she was.
Well, I just hands down, she deserves all the applause for that, man. The great ones play hurt.
There you go. There you go.
So I was trying to oh wow, sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Match 2. What was match 2, Cody?
Match 2 would have been what I think should not have been match 2. The ladder match, the 6-pack ladder match, which I think was a total clusterfuck. as much as it was a ladder match, it was a shit ladder match.
I think for me, I had high expectations because my mind is going back to the Dudleys, Edge and Christian and the Hardys. You know, that's where my mind was going. Like, this is going to be just like that. It wasn't terrible, but
No,
like you said, it was
entertaining.
It was a cluster.
Yeah, it was entertaining. It definitely had its moments. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that match. It didn't start out that way, but then as it went, there were like different little moments in there. Like I think it was during that match too. Because you had Miz and R-Truth, and I sent you guys that text in the group text, and I was like, this is why everything R-Truth does is gold, because he's standing outside the ring, and like there was whatever that was happening, and it was like taking a minute to get going. So he stood out there and he was trying to get the Miz to tag him in. I was like, dude,
A hot tag.
and I was like that. And I'm like, dude, he's going to do it too. He's going to tag him, and it's going to get a huge pop. No pun intended, huge pop. But I'm like, dude, he's just that was so cool. And to see him act, oh my gosh, what's their faces? Austin Theory and Grace. I was like, really? I
got upset about that. I'm not gonna.
I was like, really? But I can't think of anybody that was upset when R-Truth climbed the ladder and pulled the belts down, like, at all.
No.
I was happy.
Are you too upset that A-Town Down Under got the SmackDown tag titles?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why?
Why?
They suck.
No.
Yes.
Listen.
They compliment one another, but you want my honest opinion? No. When they got those belts, I was like, oh, freaking, are you kidding me? And that's because, they're probably good at their jobs, but at the same time, I wasn't, whatever. I wasn't happy.
I jumped up and down like a little kid on Christmas. That was great. I was happy for them.
What?
No. See, I like them separate. I like Austin Theory by himself.
I like those two with Logan Paul. Honestly, if I can get those three plus Pretty Deadly, that's a stable. That's a stable that could go on for years.
Are you talking about Frozen on Ice over there?
Yeah.
They're good.
That's what he's talking about.
Let it go.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I didn't pop for that. I just was like, oh, wow, okay. I just didn't expect it. I didn't expect it.
How did you not expect that? Because
that was my call.
If all those teams on that ladder match, the two teams that you had to know was going to win it was R-Truth and The Miz, and they've been trying to push Waller and Theory down our throats. They were going to get it. I hate Theory. I can't stand Theory. Waller's great, and I think they complement each other really good.
Well, we talked about this before. They complement each other because Theory is awesome, but he's got no mic skills. And Waller can talk really well, but in the ring he's not as good as Austin Theory. But together they complement one another. I just didn't see it coming, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
The one I thought was I used to be a R-Truth. And again, it's not R-Truth the character. It's what WWE did with the 24/7 title. I thought that was ridiculously stupid, and therefore I got a bad taste in my mouth for R-Truth. He is money now that he's back. He's back. Everything, including what happened last night, was funny as hell. So he's gold. He's like, oh my god, he's gold, and he's with the most annoying guy in the world, Miz. I think they complement each other perfectly.
Shockingly, they do.
Miz is one of my favorites of all time.
I'm sorry.
Miz is awesome.
Hey, let's not knock the Miz. I love the Miz.
Wait a minute. There's nothing wrong with that. Miz is awesome. Come on now.
I'm so sorry. That was great, Scott. To be fair, I've been a fan of the Miz since day one.
There you go.
Since day one, I have been a fan of the Miz. He has been from reality show to WWE champion.
Yep.
Twice.
Yep. And I watched him on the Real World before so he's not like a dude. You think about Bailey, okay? Somebody who's a fan and got into the business as a fan and busted their butt to make it. That was him. Because on the Real World, he was obsessed with wrestling, and the other people in the house were like, "What are you doing?" And he was acting like a wrestler. He would act like The Rock or whatever. But I watched, because I never watched the Real World, and that was the one season I started watching it. And when he was on there, and he was great. He was my favorite person on there. And then when he got into Tough Enough, I was like, "Hey, that's that dude." And he was a fan from the beginning, and he busted his butt to actually be taken seriously. And look what it's like. Look at his career, dude. Yeah, he's awesome. Come on, Huge Pop. Miz is awesome.
Also,
he's just mad that Miz is better than Sting. So
one of the superstars that has never been injured.
Well, Miz is one.
Yeah, he's never.
Has he never been injured?
He's never been
injured.
injured.
Miz has never been injured.
He's just taken time off to go do movies.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
He's never been injured. And he does a safe style, but it's a style that pisses you off when he wants to be a heel, and it's a style that you can get behind when he's a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, he's not a good babyface, but still, point stands.
Wow.
I
didn't know that.
He's that Ted DiBiase, to where he's a heel all the time, and you just love him because he's so sweet at being a heel.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but I was kind of really rooting for DIY.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay. I love DIY and NXT. I hate that they fucking leaned into this DX stuff. I hate it. I
agree.
So much.
No, I don't disagree with that. I don't because it's like you're kind of comparing them with DX and throwing them over there. Let them be themselves, do their own thing.
They were already themselves. They were already established. So why they come out like Michaels and Hunter is weird. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's cool, whatever, but not to me. I don't like it. They already were established. They were already their own characters, like for years. So just let them be themselves.
We were talking about that on Monday. That how we liked how they came to the ring. Like for X, they came out as DX. New Day came out as Rocky and
Apollo.
Yeah, Apollo Creed.
Technically, he came out as Apollo Crews from TNA.
Well, yeah, but so that was cool how they did that, So
I had to throw that in there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought the right people won. I am excited about. I will say this. I'm excited about R-Truth and the Miz.
Me too.
The Miz. Okay. I hope they go on and keep those titles. I think they're gonna be funny, and think they're gonna be fun to watch.
I have a theory for the tag title division, or at least a division in general for Raw. I think the Judgment Day will be the new Bloodline. Finn Balor will be IC champion soon. Dominic and JD will be the tag champions. Rio's World Women's Champion, and Priest is World Champion. That's how I see that running.
You read my mind, man. I kid you not. I was thinking that because when Priest, I don't know if anybody, I don't want to spoil it for nobody, but when Priest said, all rise. It's time you finally all rise for the
Right, for the
judgment day.
Judgment Day.
I
Yeah,
just sat there was like, this is Bloodline 2.0 about to happen right here.
kind of.
Jay,
Kind of, yeah, because they were falling apart before, and then because that's one part I did see. I did see that part of Raw. Yeah.
I cannot stand JD McDonough. Like he has the most punchable face in WWE.
Thank
Like
you.
That's fair.
he's not good. He sounds horrible. I can hardly understand him. Like I changed the channel, and I'm like a kid on Christmas morning when he's getting beat up. Like I'm please, steel chair, ladder, table, something, just destroy him.
So you were happy when he took that insane bump that he did.
Off the ladder
Yes.
through the
Yeah,
table.
during that match, I was like, "Ooh, man!" Yeah,
Yeah, what does
Yeah.
Lena call him? The an overgrown little person. That's what he looks like.
yeah.
That's unfortunately fair.
What's the next one?
The next match is what I think should have been the second match. It is Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos and Mysterio with the help of Taylor Swift's brother-in-law, Jason Kelsey.
Well,
Mhm.
it's in Philly. It was in Philly. He was.
Yeah, you knew that was going to happen.
When I saw two white gentlemen dressed up in lucha masks, I'm thinking, man, Gallus is really falling down the ladder. Like
I said, is that Luke?
I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, who are they?
I was just like, this is just bad.
Dude,
That was not one of my favorite
I was-
matches to watch.
No,
I'm
but
I
raging.
was kind of upset that Carlito didn't turn heel.
Yeah, I was
People are
waiting for it.
upset by that.
I was waiting for it, man. I even said it in the group message. I was like, Carlito's about to turn.
I mean, personally, if there was one match that could have like done a kickoff match, this was it.
Right. Night one had left me unsatisfied because they had so many opportunities for that match for Carlito to turn. Didn't happen. They had so many, and a couple other matches on night one. You were waiting for it, and all of a sudden we went to the commercial, and I'm like, why?
True.
It was
But I
too
will
obvious.
say, yeah, and I said this in the group chat that we had going too. Andrade, how freaking good is that guy, man?
Thank you.
I couldn't stop watching him during that match. That dude is insanely good. I don't know why I never noticed before. And maybe I have, but just on display in that match, that he's stupid good.
Yeah, I watched him in
good.
NXT. I watched him when he came up to the main roster, and then when he went to AEW, and that guy's always just
He's crisp. Everything he does is crisp. His moves are fantastic. His bumps, like everything he does, dude, is just good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I mean, I just watched him primarily. I didn't hate the match, but that's why I sent that in that thing. I was like, dude, this guy's freaking off the chain, man. He's very talented.
That's why I marked out when he came back. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I remember that.
It didn't really take much convincing. Thank you, AEW.
Yeah.
right.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody got
Huge
their,
Bob,
what
do you think about Andrade?
I love that. I was I had the other things to do. I missed where Rey Mysterio's first partner was gonna got beat up, and so they inserted Andrade, and I was like, okay, this makes no sense. Then I started watching it, and he's good. He is amazing. I wasn't a fan of that match. I'm glad that Dom Got his ass beat. So I was happy there. I'm not a Dom fan. I think he's a great heel. And I do have a heel thing at the end of the show that I want to share because it's my brother's fault that I like heels. Anyways.
Yeah. Sure, we'll go with that.
But I'm okay with the win. I'm glad Ray got the win, but I'm bored with the Dom Rey Mysterio crap now. Get over it. It's done. Let's not have another one.
Thought it was done last year. Yeah.
Right. When they announced it at that SmackDown when Ray came out and I'm pointing at you. We're gonna no. I was done with that. I don't want to see it again. That's one of those things I wasn't happy to see. So I guess with that said, I probably wasn't invested in that match as much.
Yeah.
Because I could care less.
Yeah, because they had all the buildup prior to last year's match. All the buildup. And last year's match was good.
Yes.
It was good. That's when I was like, dude, I kind of like Dirty Dom, man. He's better than I thought.
He had the interest of the year.
And dude,
that entrance was sweet. It was sweet. I was like, dude, I like him. I hate him, but I kind of like him. I was like, I kind of like him. Dude, I hated his guts when he was a babyface. I hated his guts when he came out, was tag team with his dad. And then when he joined the Judgment Day, I was like, you still suck. I can't stand you. And then all of a sudden, dude, he's like grown on me. He's grown on me.
I think if he would have had just a singles match, he does better in a singles match, in my opinion, from watching him. I would rather see him by himself.
He's way better than he used to be. Way better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Next.
Oh boy, love it.
Yeah, we'll keep this moving because we got 2 nights to cover.
Yeah, we do.
Who's next?
Cody, what's next on the list?
The next one on the list is the brother versus brother match. I really love how they put it. Yeah, see, I think we could all just agree on this one. It was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was a brother versus brother match for the sake of a brother versus brother match.
Straight garbage. I hated it, and I love Jimmy and I love Jay.
Yeah, I know.
I hated that.
I know.
They had better spots on night 2 than that match in night 1.
Yeah,
I agree.
I can see.
definitely.
I did not like that match at all. It did not have. I mean, it was so. It was so funny. It was so predictable. It was like he's begging out, "Oh, forgiveness." And I'm like, I told my wife, I said, he's going to sucker punch him. He did, and it was how many. I hate. How many times do you have to super kick each other in the face and be fine with it? I swear to God, I counted 20 super kicks.
I know there was a lot. It was, I mean, it wasn't Brett versus Owen.
No,
not
it wasn't the Hardys against each other.
No,
Brett versus Owen though. That's a
different level. That's a different level of good. But that was one of the first times I remember a brother versus brother match at WrestleMania, and that match was like, wow.
And my problem with that match on that night 1 of Jay and Jimmy, they're both good. And to do something like that, no, I wasn't happy.
It's weird. It's weird because they're both good, but yet when they came together, it didn't work. I don't know why. It didn't. Dude. But the crowd was into it. The fans were into it, and they were eating it up. And I mean, it had moments here and there, but it just, I don't know, it didn't deliver. You know what I mean? Like you didn't believe that they were going to tear each other apart. You know what I mean? It just like they got in there and it was just let's do some spots or whatever. Like, I don't know. It was what it was.
It was a brother versus brother match for the sake of having a brother versus brother match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great like we were expecting it to be. All the build up, all the hype about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You just sat there like,
it was disappointing. You're right.
Cool.
I agree, Rico. With all the buildup they had, no.
Yeah, you would think they'd be wanting to tear each other apart.
It was the worst match of the 2 nights.
I could go out on a limb and say that match could have been on SmackDown or Raw and been okay.
Oh yeah, easily.
Don't get me wrong. I think that those two are great. I truly believe that this was the match to quote unquote showcase Jay, because I believe and this is what I've been saying, this is Booker T era 2000 WCW. That's what Jey Uso is. He's going to be a world champion. He's going to be not necessarily WWE champion, but he's going to be a world champion nonetheless. He's going to do good things outside of the tag team, and Jimmy can lead Bloodline B team. So there you go.
You think it's because together they're unbelievable, but do you think by themselves, as far as like singles competitor, that Jimmy just can he can do the spots better than that Jay can do them better than Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. I think that.
Yeah.
It kind of seems that way. It's just there's a confidence level. There's a confidence level, and Jay has it. And
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
like I said,
Without a doubt.
together they're unbelievable. But by themselves, you got to be, it's something different. So I love them both. But
I think honestly, just with this match alone, it was to showcase Jay more or less, and it was what it was. I think everybody was okay with it by the end. Again, it did its job to showcase Jimmy or Jay, and that was it.
mhm.
And then we go on to the tag team match.
Which one?
Roman and Rock versus.
No, we have 2 matches before that.
Yeah, that's not till later.
We have the 6-woman tag.
I'm eager to
which
talk
was
about it.
sponsored by Wingstop. If anybody caught that.
I did not.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I just find it funny that was sponsored by Wingstop. The Luchador match was sponsored by the Lipton iced tea drink that was from Mexico.
Yeah.
It's like, really? This is what we're doing now?
Yep.
I'll summarize that match in one sentence. It showcased the 3 that won. And they did a damn good job showcasing them.
That's pretty much all it needed to do.
And Jade Cargill, I will say this, even with that freaking white paint down her face, she looked amazing. She did everything I thought she would do. Yeah, I thought it was great.
I don't even know what to call that.
I don't either. I was like, what is that?
What are we doing?
Kind of war paint.
She forgot where her eyeshadow went. She went right down the middle of her body. Whoop. That looks good.
You guys better talk about this match because if me and Rico
And
talk about it, we'll talk for an hour. Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I know. Rico for sure can.
Hey, I'll bring Lena up here, and she
What was
will
with
go
her
on and
hair?
on about Jade.
What was with her hair? I don't like her in short hair. I like.
Is that what Rico said? It was a wig.
No, her actual hair is short, but when you see her with the long hair, that's her wigs and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that's her
she has-
actual hair.
So she has she has a weave.
Mhm.
Yeah, basically. Okay.
That is the correct term for what you're trying to say.
Okay.
She looks stunning, and I mean, God, all 3 of them women in that ring that won, I'd run the other way if I see them in the alley. They'd beat my ass. I wouldn't even try to even compete. Bye.
Yep, it showcased them. They were good. She had all the hype when she got in there, and
Delivered.
she delivered. I got to give her that. I know I give you crap all the time, Rico, but she delivered. She did all right on that stage. She did all right.
But let me ask you guys this: do you think that it kind of made the women's tag team champions look pretty weak? The Kabuki Warriors.
Did?
In a sense, it did. Yeah.
Really, just made them like they were nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just showed the dominance of but maybe that's what it was intended to do.
And that's why I'm like, do we see Jade and Bianca go for the belts, or Naomi and Bianca, or
I would rather see Bianca and Jade. Personal preference.
Yeah, and then you could have them win the belts, and it could be something like the Mega Powers explode.
yeah,
And then you could build that and have them go at each other.
I wanted to see a turn on one of those 3 that night. I'll say that. And my last thing that I'll let Cody talk. The last thing I will say this: I'm glad WWE is treating Jade Cargill better than AEW did, because they had AEW. Tony Khan had a gold mine with that chick, and I was impressed as hell when she was in that storyline with Cody Rhodes and Randy Rhodes, and it was like it went this far and it hit a brick wall, and I'm like, what the hell? What are you doing, Tony Khan? You gotta you got a massive beastly woman that you could do with so much with, and you screwed it up. And then she was off TV.
Mhm.
Yep.
Shocking.
Yeah, that's
shocking. Oh,
that-
AEW, shocking.
that's Tony Khan, dude.
But no, yeah, I watched her in AEW, and like that whole with Cody and Brandy, that was awesome. And then all of a sudden, it just like someone just hit the light switch, turned it right off, and it just disappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then they gave her the Goldberg streak and then have her lose her last 2 matches out the door because Tony Khan's a freaking halfwit.
Right. And I was like, and the thing is, and that goes back to my thing about Cody Rhodes, okay?
Here we go.
It's how people, how you use your talent. It's how, and that's what happened. Tony Khan didn't use her well until now. She's getting here, and I hope Tripp, and I hope The Rock, if he's on the board of directors, I hope all that team treats her and uses her like she should be used.
It was said quite a few times in the Hall of Fame, and it was said quite a few times this weekend at WrestleMania. This whole new Triple H era is starting off with a bang. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the best that it's the best that we've seen in years, honestly.
Yeah, if you could think of just if like the worst match, I think somebody said it. They felt the worst match of the 2 nights was Jimmy versus Jay, which wasn't even a horrible match. That's saying something, because I enjoyed night 1 and night 2, and yeah, and that's what it goes back to, understanding, just like he did in NXT when he was running it, and sometimes you got to listen to the people, unlike Tony Khan, who listens to, like, he lets the to coin a phrase, he lets the inmates run the penitentiary, right? You can get ideas from people, but you still have to have control. You still got to have somebody who's like, okay, well, we're going to do this. And then you have to create stories, and you got to create something that's sustainable. You got to create moments, and I think that he has that creative mind because he's been there, and he can let people express themselves, but then also put them in situations where they can be like the best versions of themselves, and not just like go for high spot, and all this stuff, but actually tell a story, and you can just see it. You can see it happening, dude. You can see even in the matches, there were moments. There were moments in like little something in the matches where you're just like, oh yeah, I will remember that. That will stick out, So yeah, it's off to a good start in my opinion.
Yep. What's next?
Next match is the one of 3 that I believe was match of the night, except for one little spot. Gunther versus Sammy for the IC belt.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people were upset about that one.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't see a lot of people like, why did you lose that to Sami Zayn? Sami's good, but come on, to beat Gunther.
Dude, I love Gunther. I'm sitting there watching. Even my wife was like, oh, your boy lost, at the end. But just the beating that he gave Sammy, and Sammy kept getting back up. And just the spots in that match and how physical it was. When he won, I was like, and I think I even said that in the group text, I was like, I can't even be mad. I can't, because it was that good. That match was that good. The chemistry and the way the crowd was worked. And it just was like, I can't even be mad. Plus, it was so cool when he was coming out and he was walking. Then KO was there, Kevin Owens. And, he talked to him. And he was like, go get him, or go get yours, or whatever he said to him and stuff like that. And he was all pumped up and came out. And I loved that match. I loved it from the time they came out through the whole match. And then when it ended, like, I still sat there kind of like, dang, he lost. But I couldn't be mad. I couldn't be mad. Yeah. Awesome
Just
match.
like you said, hands down, that was a phenomenal match, man.
Yeah. Awesome.
Really was.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Gunther is like, he just can work. He understands ring psychology. He understands the importance of like working the crowd. and he's believable. When he does his moves, and he's believable. And when he takes when he's like taking moves and he has to bump and stuff like that, he sells his butt off. Like, the dude is just good at his job. He's just really good at his job.
Right.
And obviously so was Sammy. So yeah, that was cool. I loved that match.
I think you're right, Nikki D. For me, the spots started in the back.
Mhm.
All the way from his walking in the hall, he bumped into I can't remember who he bumped into, but then he turned the corner and there's Kevin Owens, and you're like, oh shit, and he's like, dude, go get it. He goes kicking the wall, kicking everything, going through the gorilla room, and out comes Sami Zayn and the mountain. We'll talk about the mountain Cody Rhodes climbed, the mountain that Sami Zayn climbed, and you could, and I was more invested in that than I was. And obviously Cody Rhodes, because I could give two shits. But Sami Zayn climbed that mountain, climbed it, and beat the unbeatable. And it was amazing to me. And then after the match, he's out there, blah, blah, blah. And it's just from start to finish, to me, that was probably top two match of the whole thing.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I love that match.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Wasn't it his wife and kid that he saw before KO
I think so.
in the back?
Yeah. And Gunther, what a beast. He's going to be he better be in that title picture down the road.
Oh, he's going to be hands
Oh,
down.
that, yeah.
Going to be.
That should happen. That should happen. You're right about Sammy, though. Remember when Sammy was just a ha-ha guy? He was just like a, he's coming out, you're going to get a laugh or whatever. And you never really took him serious. And then he had magic in the bloodline. And there was that whole story that just, he made that crap work. Like, he made it interesting. And then he busted his butt and did all that. And then he had his shot against Roman. And that was a sweet match. And he didn't get it done, obviously, but you just respected him even more. So you're right. He kept climbing and climbing. So it's good to see him get his.
Absolutely.
That was cool. Like I said, I can't even be mad.
Kind of climbed like, someone else did. Cody Rhodes, huge pop.
You did.
Don't start. Don't start.
Here's my whole problem with. I have one problem with the Gunther Sammy match. It was when he was convulsing to get back up, like he was having a stroke.
Oh, when he was like punching the mat and stuff like that.
It took me so out of it.
Well,
that took me back. That took me back to like 80s
Warrior,
wrestling.
When they got
that's what it took me back to, like 80s wrestling, when they're like they're not willing to die. Like I don't know, like a Ric Flair or something hitting the mat and getting up when Michael's already kicked his head off once, and he's like, no, and he's getting back up. Except it was a little more exaggerated with Sammy. I will give you that.
A little bit.
It was more exaggerated, but yeah. I see but I do see where you're coming from.
Yeah, you look like a cat with rabies.
Here's the thing. Him convulsing. So up until that point, 5-star match. After that point, 5-star match. That particular moment knocks it from a 5-star match to a 3, in my opinion. Because it just took it, like, the whole thing is to suspend your disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
He got splashed and splashed and splashed, and then he's just like, well, time to have a stroke, and then get up. And then, like, if he would have just, like, played possum, got up, did the haluva kick on the top rope, did the brainbuster on the top rope, and then did the two haluva kicks, there would have been no problem, no nothing. Just let it go. Like, if Gunther would have taunted just a little bit more towards his wife, and Sammy would have just gotten up and did the haluva kick playing possum, fine. But trying to suspend the disbelief of him having a stroke, kind of hard to do.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I see it.
before we get to the tag match, this is up to you, Scott. We can lump in the tag match and the main event of night 2 together and just move on to night 2.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
So do you want
I
to?
don't know. I think he wants to do night 2 final by itself. I could tell by his face. He's like,
No. We can do night 2 and that. But I want to start with the matches before that. I want to lump that into night 2 at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
okay, we'll do that.
So-
We'll start with night 2.
So-
Let's start with night 2. Match number 1. McIntyre versus Rollins started off strong, immediately hit the finisher button, went for the Claymore, and kicked out at 2. And then it took 3 more Claymores to put away Seth Rollins.
Yep.
Kind of pissed by that.
I said this in the group chat. I was wondering if maybe Seth was actually hurt, but they didn't want him to look so weak in the match. So to show his determination, he'd keep kicking out of the Claymores, just to show something, because he didn't have a whole lot of offense in that match.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. Yeah, I think he was because he was. Well, again, I'm not trying to get ahead of ourselves here, but the whole thing after the Rhodes and Reigns match, when he was out there, the boys were like helping him. They were helping him. Like if he was still selling, okay, but it was like there's no point at that time when it's all done and the eyes aren't on you, and they were all helping him, like Kevin Owens and everything. So he was jacked. I think he was jacked up, like seriously jacked up. I think he was. Going into that match, and I think it just showed his toughness. But I think he was messed up going into it. He was probably messed up going into night 1. I mean, we all know about his back and everything else. So yeah,
that was the only thing I could gather from it. I'm like, man, because Seth does that. That's not Seth. That's not Seth at all, man.
Yeah, he was hurt. Yeah, I think he was hurt. I think he was hurt all along.
I loved his entrance. Everybody hated it. I loved it. I thought it was cool. I mean, it was that boy. I mean, I will say that she needs to go back and wear Shield clothes and not all this flamboyant, stupid
Listen,
stuff.
with the powder puff Raiden going on over there.
I hate it. I mean, I loved it, but I hated it at the same time. That match to me was everything it should have been. It showed it has a story, and the story was at the end, because it really wasn't about Seth and Drew. It's about Drew and his dislike of CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
That man's gold. I hope he stays around for a long time. Not Drew McIntyre, but CM Punk. He's gold. He's money. And just how he taunted CM Punk with that little crawling to the ha ha ha, and then CM Punk screwed him in the end. And that's the only part I didn't like. Okay, and maybe it's because I'm not a big Damian Priest fan. Whatever that is. But again, and I would have been pissed off if it would have happened to Cody Rhodes. So I'm glad it happened at this point instead of Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah.
Right.
To be fair, I wanted it to be Cody so fucking bad to piss off everybody.
I did too. I pissed off everybody. This pissed me off because guess what? Drew McIntyre bust his ass. He's been busting his ass for 6 months.
Yeah.
To be where he's at. And you give him the freaking title for 5 minutes and 47 seconds.
I know.
But that cockiness, and that's.
And I get that. But Damian Priest.
Yeah. And it sucks because Drew won it in front of no fans. He got that amazing pop when he eliminated Brock Lesnar during that Royal Rumble. And then because he was still like a heel when he went into that Royal Rumble. And then he won the Royal Rumble and people lost their minds. He was so over. And then COVID happened and he was the champ in front of no fans. And he busted his butt during that whole time. Yeah. And I was happy to see him win. I was not I love Damian Priest. I do. But I wasn't happy to see Drew McIntyre drop the belt. But I know it fits with what they're doing.
That's the only reason why I liked it, because it just made that CM Punk and Drew so much better.
Yeah. And how about when he was crawling across the table? I died when he said, when he grabbed the belt and he said, I want you to know that, getting in my way will cause bad things to happen or something like that. And CM Punk was like, I want you to know that I can't hear a thing or I have cans on. I can't hear a thing that you're saying. Dude, I died. I was like, that was gold, dude. That was awesome.
So
Yeah, that whole thing was cool.
That's what makes CM Punk who he is. I mean, that's just
exactly.
He's money.
Yeah.
He's a smart ass, egotistic son of a bitch.
Yeah, he knows.
Damn
He's
right.
very good at the business. He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So the end of it, I love because it set up the story that I guess I'm a CM Punk fan. It set up that Drew McIntyre CM Punk story. I could give a care less about what Damian Priest does with his title.
Oh, well, that Judgment Day, they're going to start doing some great things.
We'll see. We'll see. I said it too late because when he was beating on him with his arm brace, it just hit me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a champ that's hurt." Because he was going to come out and cash in on Drew McIntyre that didn't really get that much opposition from Seth because Seth was hurt. But then when he was down, when CM Punk was beating on him, right when I was getting ready to say, "Oh my gosh, the champ is hurt," then the music hit, and I was like, "Here he comes! He's cashing in." So, it was kind of cool, but I felt bad for Drew. Still do.
I don't. He's not. He hasn't re-signed.
True.
What? I didn't know that.
He still hasn't re-signed.
I thought he did.
That's right. They were still in talks. They haven't come to terms.
They still haven't come to terms. His deal's up in the summer. So
shoot, I thought he did.
Crybaby about it.
But see, that's what we talked about on Monday, right, Cody?
Mm-hmm.
I wish we had no internet, so we could watch it and not know that he didn't sign. Not know Becky Lynch had 102 fever. Not know, all these things. But
go back to
it is what it is. We have internet. We have dirt sheets. We have everybody talking on TikTok.
You had the dirt sheets, even before and it really quick off topic. Like my oldest daughter and I, because she saw Iron Claw before me, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I was talking about when the Texas tornado, when Kerry Von Erich came to the. When he came to the WWF back then, I had no idea. I knew he was in an accident, but I didn't know that his foot was amputated. We didn't know that because there was no internet. There was no nothing. You didn't have none of that stuff. So she was like, you didn't know that? And I was like, no, nobody did. And it just was like, I knew that he wrestled a little different, but he played it off so well. Those days are gone, They're gone.
Nope.
There's no
everybody
secrets
knows
anymore.
Well, here's my question. So is everybody here a football fan?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys watch ESPN and all the sports talk shows and everything that's on basic cable?
I try to catch First Take.
I get, yeah.
Okay.
Much as I can.
I would love for there to be a show that actually has not necessarily insider knowledge, but has the knowledge of the contracts, has the knowledge of the not necessarily what storylines or what, but I would it to be like football where they're talking about the contracts, the stipulations of contracts, shit like that, because at least then we would know what's going on. Granted, it was a publicly traded company and you used to know all that shit, but now TKO is the one that's publicly traded and WWE is just a part of it. So you can't even see if contracts are up or not. You have to go by what dirt sheets say, what the actual wrestlers say. It sucks. And I wish there was a show out there that could not necessarily the storyline part of pro wrestling, just the business side, the logistics of pro wrestling, and analyze that. I would love that.
And I think the only thing that comes close to it, Cody, is, and if they do more of the storytelling thing, is Busted Open. They do okay with it, but and those guys are brains over there, of course. But we've seen one in the next match, I think, or one of them in the next match or two.
The next match we do see them, but before we go, I just wanted to point out that the fact that it took Seth Rollins 4 Claymores, and it took Lesnar 1. pisses me off.
Dude, I forgot about that. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Brock
That's a good
Lesnar,
point.
former UFC heavyweight champion, takes one kick to the face and gets a 3 count. Seth Rollins, who couldn't even beat up his own daughter if he wanted to, has to take 4 of them to finish a match.
Right. Well, when he took that
Good
first
point.
Claymore, when he took that first Claymore at the beginning, I'm like, okay, they're going to do a 5-minute match.
I thought it was done. I thought it was
thought
done.
it was
I thought it was done right there.
I thought it was done.
Yeah.
Like, makes sense. He's hurt, so yeah. And then he kicked out. I'm like,
Quick.
okay.
And I think I would have been okay with that because knowing that Seth Rollins is hurt, I'd have been all right with that.
And then still have the cash in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with that.
Yep, I agree. Gosh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Makes Drew look strong, makes Seth look strong, looks Punk look strong, makes Damian look strong. You make 4 people look strong with just one maneuver. Maneuver.
Yep.
Next match. Can't believe this was won. The Pride versus the Final Testament in a 6-man hardcore match.
I just
With special guest referee Bubba Ray Dudley because he was at the Hall of Fame Friday night.
Only thing I gotta say about that match is the only part I liked about that match is when he took the glasses out of his pocket and told him to get the table. Blah.
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. That was my favorite part.
Oh, he's got his glasses. I marked out, man. I was like, oh shoot. Not bad.
B-Fab putting Scarlett through the table. I like that.
Could care less. I'm sorry. those 2 women need to be nowhere near, unless both of them were set on fire and they fell off the stage on the tables. Then I would have called it a moment. Other than that, those 2 needed nowhere near this match.
Oh my gosh.
Those 2 are not. I'd say they're not. I'm not trying to dog on them in any way. They're not wrestlers.
No.
And that's why I thought it was sweet for her to get put through a table because they're not wrestlers. They're just managers.
Yeah.
They try to put them in these little matches here or there to get them the rest, but they're not wrestlers.
Right.
Yeah, the fall through the table was just like it looked like an accident. It didn't look like a real
It just looked like, hey, B-Fab, we're gonna go through this table. Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Fall backwards, like it was.
Watching Scarlett or B-Fab wrestle is like watching a baby deer walk for the first time. It is just bad. I'm sorry that, and not to mention we're calling the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley the Pride, which is just at that point just makes me think of lions and the Lion King and then Simba, and then I'm thinking who's Simba, and then right, exactly, and then you have the Final Testament, which is a religious thing in WWE, and they're not doing any sort of type of religion stuff at all, except Karrion Kross saying, I change people when I fight them. Yay.
That match did nothing for me except for that.
No, I just want Karrion to get that push. I want Karrion to get that push by himself.
The only thing that match did for me was to remind me to go get more food. That's what that match did.
There you go. Next.
Oh gosh.
Next match that I could have cared less for, but it was still a good match. AJ versus LA Knight.
Well, that was a good match. I like that match.
I can't stand LA Knight. AJ Styles was in a style of wrestling that he's not like known for in brawling. It was a clash of styles, no pun intended. It sucked. I thought AJ held his own. I thought LA Knight held his own.
Mm-hmm.
It was what it was.
It was like more AJ bringing the TNA AJ out.
Nah, because if he was bringing the TNA AJ out, he'd be WWE champion right now.
Well, I mean, I think he should be in the running for it, but no one wants to give him that push. WWE, talking to you.
Yeah. That match, just watching that match, LA Knight's over and all that stuff, and he's entertaining, he's cool and stuff like that. But AJ is just insanely good. He's so good, everything he does, and I just sit there and watch it, and I'm like, I don't think I sent it in the group text, but I wanted to say they should be doing more with this guy before he can't do what he does. They should be doing more with him because AJ Styles is freaking just so good. He's so awesome.
Like,
Dude, he's so good.
You're keeping him on
dude,
the mid card.
he's so good that The Undertaker was like, I want to work a match with that guy. That's
For my
a
final
very,
match.
very small list of people where he said, I want to work with that guy. Like, he's supposed to be done. And he's like, I want to work that guy. He just gets it. That's how good AJ is. That's how good he is, man. And then he's just there. Like, I feel like he's just there, and he shouldn't be. He should be utilized somehow. Yeah, that's how I felt watching it. I don't dislike LA Knight, and I didn't hate the match. It was just AJ. I just watched him. I think you're right. He was in a style of match that doesn't suit him. So I think it was tailored more to kind of showcase LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, AJ Styles, man, like, come on, WWE.
Hey man, you use them before you lose them. Really.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just
but they're
like
not
just
gonna
like
do
a
that.
huge pop said earlier, you know, Tony Khan had this gold mine with Jade Cargill, didn't do anything. Well, WWE, you have AJ Styles, and you're not doing anything with them.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is, like, I don't mean to keep harping on it, but the boys see it. Like, Cena was like, I want to work with this guy, man. He's like, everybody, they all see it, and they want to, and he works great. He works great with everybody. They're like, dude, this guy's freaking awesome, man. He can work feuds. He just, like, don't use him to, like, make other talent, you know, like a stepping stone. He's too good for that. And he still has miles left. You know what I mean? So
Easily.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, glad that he's the spokesman for Slim Jim, but other than that, I could care less about LA Knight.
He was over. Well, okay, so what I get that because he was so over when the Fiend was around, right? He had all that good. That's when he was hot.
Okay.
And all of a sudden it lost steam, and now you're trying to get it back. And I'm like, yeah, okay. We've seen this before last year. He screwed that up. He should have had a title, in my opinion, but somehow, some way, it was gone. Now you're trying to rebirth this guy against AJ Styles, which needed to be in a different match than that. And so I just that match, in my opinion, was odd. It didn't need to be there. Again, It could have been a Raw or SmackDown match.
Yeah.
That could have been, definitely.
Yep.
Next.
Let's go to the next one, Cody.
The next match is what I thought was damn near match of the night or match of the weekend. The United States Triple Threat match. Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton. A glorified 2-on-1 handicap match. I loved everything that was involved. My two favorite moments of the entire weekend is in this match. Kevin Owens coming out with the damn golf cart, and then hearing Randy Orton's music play and go, I'm gonna go pick up Randy, and then fucking haul ass back, and then he's like, come on, and Randy's like, fuck it, it's WrestleMania, I'm in my 40s, who cares? And then I don't know who the streamer kid was. Good on you for taking the bump. But when Randy Orton looks you dead in the eye on the announcer table and goes, "Oof, oof, oof," and then RKO's you, you are now a meme for life, motherfucker. You have now just done crystal clear great things for the internet. Thank you.
I don't even know who that guy is. And my 9-year-old daughter was watching with me, and she knows who he is. And she was like, "What's he doing there?" And she said his name. And I'm like, I don't even know who that is, but he's about to get messed up. That's all I said. I was like, I don't know who he is, but he's about to get messed up. And he did.
You got more than
like you said. I agree. That match was just top notch.
Oh yeah,
it kept you on your toes. You didn't have a clue which way it was going. Logan Paul ended up winning. I don't dislike Logan Paul. I just really wanted Randy to win. That's the only reason why I got upset at that match, because I was pushing for Randy.
Yep. And I think Logan Paul for me, anyways, he earned his flowers. That boy.
Oh, without a doubt.
Oh
He
yeah.
can go. I mean, I've seen him against Ricochet colliding in the middle of the ring. I thought that was amazing. But he continues to perform on the big stage.
Oh yeah.
He deserves that title. I up to that point, I was like, no, why do we have this internet YouTuber having a title? But I think Cody said, I didn't realize, who was he trained by? Who did this training? Was it Shawn Michaels, right?
Yeah, Shawnee did it.
I mean, and you can tell.
Dang,
Oh yeah, you can totally tell he's trained by the showstopper.
I mean,
So
that boy earned his right. I mean, for me, as a fan of wrestling now, he earned it. He put on a damn good show. He's put on, what, 3 WrestleManias in a row? 2
has it already been 3? Wow.
38, 39, 40, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. And he's gold.
So Huge Pop, was it me and you talking about it, or was it me and Lena, not Lena. Sorry. Talking about Logan Paul against Montez Ford.
You and I.
Those two in a match.
That would be banger.
Oh yeah, that works. I'm down with that.
That would be a freaking match right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the U.S. title.
Did you see how high? I mean, let's talk about that. Montez and Logan Paul got so high with that frog splashes that they're like.
Dude, Montez Ford, he almost ended up in the front freaking row.
20,
I was like,
20,
dude, he's gonna clear the barricade.
Yes, 20
that
feet
was
in the air. I'm like,
insane.
what?
Yeah, that was insane.
And I think I said it Monday. People that want to say that shit's fake, I'm sorry. When you go 30 feet in the air and you're coming down, you're gonna get hurt.
There's
you're
gonna feel
it.
Oh yeah. The thing too, Cody, like you said, I kept freaking out about that, and I was telling my wife, like, Kevin Owens backed up in his stinking Owens mobile, that little golf, and he got him, and then he was like, "Come on!" And when Randy Orton hopped on, am I remembering this wrong, or did Randy Orton actually point at the ring while Kevin Owens was flying down there? He was pointing. It was like, dude, it was awesome. Like everything about that match, the entrance, like the entrances, the entire match, everything. Even when he got out of the ring, when Logan Paul, like, got out of the ring, was like, you guys go at it. Everything was just like they were beating the crap out of him. And then you should know better. You never trust a Viper. And then he came up behind him, and Owens called him. He's like, we doing this now? Are we doing this now? We're okay. And then they just started beating the crap out of each other, like that.
I loved it. I loved every second of that match.
That was good.
Oh yeah,
that was a great match just to showcase Logan Paul's talents.
Yes, absolutely.
Let alone everybody else's. But
that match could have been like the best match. Also, it's right up there. Both nights, amazing match.
And I know we wanted to talk about Raw, but I don't know if we're going to get to that because we want
to. It's just WrestleMania time.
Uncover Raw. Undercover. I'll touch base on what happened the opening 45-minute segment of Raw, which I thought was way too long. But,
way too long.
Anyway,
Raw was a first hour free night, so
so
take it while you can, guys.
So the main event of both nights, I think it played out like everybody thought it would play out. The Bloodline wins. Cody Rhodes wins. End of story.
I called it.
Start of another.
But I did not expect the Undertaker.
Yeah, that was the one thing I did not call.
That was the one thing I didn't call either.
Because
everybody said, Taker's going to be at WrestleMania weekend. He was at the Hall of Fame. So I was like, oh, okay, that's why he's there.
Right. I was confused by why he was there until we talked on Monday. He is the peacekeeper, and he's the judge and the jury. And that's what he is. And that makes that. So that made sense. Cody pointed out on Monday that choke slam was hideous. He doesn't need to do another freaking wrestling move ever.
That is one of top 3 worst choke slams he's ever done.
That was bad.
But was that him, or was it The Rock just not getting enough height on it? I couldn't tell.
I don't know. He's in a flying Elvis gimmick, so he's trying to not tear his goddamn pants.
But dude, he started out kind of, I don't want to say iffy, but he was a little on in the tag team match. So if we back up to the main event of night one, but then by the time he started rolling and getting his groove back, The Rock fighting on the outside of the ring with Seth Rollins was giving me, and I might be alone on this, but was giving me like flashbacks to when he would have those fights with Mick Foley, and they're out there fighting all over the place and taking bumps and stuff like that. He kind of reminded me of like what he used to be. Then he was in it. And then he was, I think it takes you a little bit, just like when Austin came out and he fought Kevin Owens, like it took him a little bit to get going, but then once he got going, it was like, that's Austin.
Mhm.
That's what I felt like with The Rock. Like it took him a little bit, but then when he was going, but they were freaking like, dude, wow. Him and Roman were like freaking chiseled, dude. They showed up in shape.
Night two, I will say this. I didn't realize until I watched it again. Night two, Roman looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Night one, he looked lost.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
Oh, you mean,
my God,
like-
what am I like out of place? And I don't know if that was The Rock, because there was more spots for The Rock than Roman on that night. And I don't know if that was just
Makes
because
sense.
he's The Rock, Everything
Well, because Roman had to go again, though. Because
Right.
Roman had to go again.
And I get that. Everything from his entrance, that entrance overshadowed any of those guys' entrance, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah.
That was
Mhm.
amazing. But that's
Yep.
The Rock, So, I mean, night one was good. But it was what everybody thought.
But it was a good match. They put on a really good match, and
Absolutely.
we knew what was
Absolutely.
going to happen. But it was one of those, okay, put together a good match and make us enjoy it.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good match. Albeit predictable how it was going to end and everything. And it was, you're like, great, night two is Bloodline rules and everything. But that tag match was enjoyable. And it just, and I feel like Seth, he looked better in that match than, so I don't know if he was banged, because I know he's been banged up for a while, but he seemed more limber and more whatever in night one. In night two, he just was like he looked like he just got off a gurney or something. Like
Well,
he
did
could
you
barely
notice
do
at the
anything.
end of night one, you barely saw him towards the end. You barely saw him. He spent quite a bit of time outside. That's why I was like, I wonder if something tweaked or he was out.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. That's right. So maybe it happened during that. And yeah, it was, that match was good, and it was a good setup for night two, I thought, in my opinion. And then night two, Huge Pop's favorite part, his favorite. He's sitting there angry texting. I hate this. Cody crybabies. Yeah, I can't even remember everything he kept sending. I was like, it's okay. Like, dude, man.
No, I mean,
Someone was a little salty.
No, he was going crazy.
what did I say? No, but all I gotta say, okay.
Sorry, I was hearing something.
I don't know. I'm okay with the match. I'm okay with our new champion.
Are you now?
I mean, yeah. Let's make it work. Let's see what you're gonna do. I'm not gonna say anything until I see what they're gonna do with him.
No,
Yeah.
that's my. I said it in the text. We've talked about it before.
What?
If you're gonna have him beat Roman, you
Mhm.
better have him
So
carry on
Cody,
and do something amazing, not
Yep.
just what
Well-
happened in AEW when Jade got beat. But
Before you play that video, I just have to point out something. For night one, when I saw Rock and Roman looked good physically. Rock looked like he needed to go work on his boobies again. He was sagging skin on his pecs again.
Was he?
Oh yeah, you could see there was like a little
Oh.
ruffle right here on his left side that they were hard camming hard.
my
And
wife
I'm
said,
just like,
yeah.
I'm just like,
Oh,
he needs to go back to 1998. Sue that plastic.
My wife said
surgeon.
to me, she
Just-
goes, my wife, Miss Edie said to me, she goes, that he had surgery. And he must have did something.
Oh gosh.
So I'm gonna try to play this one. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All right, let me talk about this WrestleMania 40 Night 2 main event. One, the match was amazing. It was everything it needed to be. It was everything we wanted it to be. It was Roman having that aura around him, that the crowd was into it, Cody overcoming all the odds to finally finish his story and win. We all know what happened. Here's my things, right? I have a few issues with it, then we'll move forward. Number one, I thought it was too overbooked. I know everyone's loving it, and I'm not saying that you can't love it. This is just my opinion. Taker coming out was a little too much. It was all, I get it. I saw the reaction videos posted by all these creators, and they loved it, and they sold everything, and I get that. I get that. It was fun, but I just feel like it was just a little too overbooked, in my opinion. Just too much was going on. I did get fooled, though, thinking that Moxley was going to come out with the Shield thing. I'm not going to lie. I did a watch along, and it's on there, but I actually thought he was. But nonetheless, the other thing I didn't like too was that the fact that Roman got no love at the end. I just posted something about this, but Roman having that title reign end, he deserved a standing ovation for what he did. I'm glad they celebrated with Cody, but they could have moved on with him, and Trips could have allowed, Rock to bring up Roman finally and get him in the ring and let the crowd thank him and applaud for him, because this man deserves it. I'm telling you all, we're going to find out right now, right? This is where I'm getting at. Is Cody that dude? Is he going to help carry the WWE like Roman Reigns did? Are the ratings going to stay the same? Are they going to go down now? Are they going to go up? What are we seeing? All these Cody crybabies, I never called you all that, but wanted Cody to be champ. Here it is. What's he going to do with it? What do we do after he finishes the story? Because y'all don't realize how much this man did. You really don't. And hopefully you guys will start appreciating him now. So with that said, I want to applaud Roman. I want to applaud Cody. I want to applaud The Rock. Everyone, even Seth, everyone who built up this main event. WrestleMania 40 Night 2 couldn't have been any more perfect. Might be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. I know it's fresh, but what do you guys think? Let me know. You think Cody?
I 100% agree. This man, Roman Reigns, carried this business for 4 years. Whether you like him or not,
Mm-hmm.
Why did we watch SmackDown? Because we were hoping that Roman Reigns would be there at the Bloodline.
Yep.
Why did we watch Raw? Because hopefully he would be there. He wasn't there all the time. Now, I'm not going to say he was all the time, but he sold seats. That Bloodline and that Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, all of them together, sold seats, made wrestling relevant again. And my fear is the same one that he has. I will, and I said it just a second ago, I'll sit back and I'm going to watch. I hope Tripp is right. I hope they give Cody Rhodes a good storyline, and I hope he can carry WWE like Roman Reigns did. Because let's face it, Roman Reigns was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like him or not, he was amazing.
Yep.
And am I bitter? Yes, because of storyline then. Yeah, because Cody Rhodes beat him. But I'm okay. Now I want Cody Rhodes to be able to do what Roman Reigns did. If not, why watch? Why watch if not going to do anything?
And from what he was saying, I fully actually agree with that. Where, like when Michaels beat Flair, Michaels departed so Flair could have that moment, in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
It's he should have got something like that.
Right.
They've brought him up a couple of times. They've been giving him his props, but I see where you're coming from with that huge pop. And yeah, that should have happened. He should have been able to at least, get that in the ring.
And one more statement before Mr. Cody Cornette says something. I seen you disagree with the statement he made about oversaturated. In my opinion, as a wrestling fan, I didn't need to see John Cena. I didn't need to see The Undertaker. I wanted to see Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes battle it out. That's what I was hoping for. But insert Seth Rollins, although that was cool as hell. I marked up because I was like, oh my God, oh shit, oh shit. My wife's like, what? I think Moxley's here. I
went crazy thinking he was about to come down.
And the best part of that match was, the best storytelling in that match was when Seth Rollins comes in with the Shield. Roman Reigns has a chair in his hands. He had two choices. He could have ended Cody Rhodes' story as a little bitch and penned him with a chair shot. But
Jesus Christ.
he chose to get revenge on Seth Rollins, and that cost him the match. That's my opinion.
Which was cool. And I was biting my tongue because I know we were like going around here. I didn't want to go out of turn here, but look at you were not going to have just Roman and Cody because you had all the bloodline coming out, so you weren't going to have just that type of match. So that's why I was actually a fan of what happened when the people were coming out and like helping Cody, because
and with all due respect, I agree. I get that. With all due respect,
yeah,
I get that.
Yeah,
because it's like the bloodline always interferes and always comes in and helps out.
And I get that. I get it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think Cody's going to blow a gasket over there.
But John Cena had to have a walker to run down the aisle, it seemed like.
Oh, he ran.
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
Dude, they popped for that, and he came out, and I was like, yeah, I thought it was cool. And then I see him, and I remember, oh yeah, he's like 20 pounds smaller than he was, and he ran. I was like, oh, but he picked Solo up a couple times. I'm like, okay, so he's still strong. And then when the Rock's music hit, I'm like, oh, they have history. This is cool. And then when they got in the ring, it wasn't the same like it was when they fought each other at back-to-back WrestleManias. Because Cena weighs 130 pounds now or whatever. I don't know, dude. He just looks frail. He just looks frail now. So his clothes all hang off of him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, just rock bottom him, dude, and get him out of there. And that whole sequence. I don't know. I'll probably say too much, so I'm going to shut up.
I'm anxiously Cody.
Yeah, it's Cody. It's Cody's turn.
We're gonna mute his mic. No.
Let's get one thing out of the way. Did everybody there needed to be there? No. We can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Was it fun? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Was it, as a wrestling fan, going through 40 years of WrestleMania in front of your eyes? Hell yeah.
I agree.
When the Shield's music hit, 5% of my heart went, oh, they made a deal with Tony Khan. No shit.
Yeah.
And then when I see Rollins come in hobbled and takes a Superman punch, I'm like, okay. But no shit, it was overbooked. We knew it was going to be overbooked. You stupid SOB. Anybody that thinks, oh, it shouldn't have been that overbooked. Let me get my keyboard and tell the WWE how I think it should have been done. No. You knew it was going to be overbooked. You knew shit was going to hit the fan. Hell, 99% of us fans all thought Austin was going to be coming back and taking out The Rock. No, what did they do? Swerve us and give us Taker. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Top 3 worst choke slams, but I'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
I hate The Rock. I've said it before.
Gold, dude.
Yes, and that's what's making me love this more because of how much I hate that Samoan prick.
And that's okay. Go ahead. And I'm going to insert what I wrote down. I wrote down this: baby face versus heel. Our champ needs to be a heel. The Rock is a freaking genius. He's a heel. Roman Reigns was a heel. I hated heels. I couldn't stand MJF, and then my brother blasted it in my head. You don't like MJF because he's a heel. You don't like MJF, and MJF's doing his job because you hate him.
He's a good heel.
Why did I love Roman Reigns? Because he's a heel. Why do I
Mhm.
dislike that? I don't know if I dislike Cody Rhodes. Why do I don't think it's going to work? Is because he's not a heel. And because we have not had a heel champ in a long time. Damian Priest is no baby face. He's a
Nope.
heel.
He's a heel.
CM Punk. People will say he's a baby face. That boy is
He's a
between
heel.
he's in the middle.
I will say this. I'm really thinking that they're trying to do a double turn here with Punk and Drew.
I don't know, but I don't like Cody Rhodes. I guess I don't like Cody Rhodes because he is a baby face, and I don't see it working.
Well, I mean, look at you had
Yeah.
Hogan. Hogan was a baby face.
Yeah, in a different era.
I know.
But
I'm just
you'll
saying.
find out. Yeah, you're gonna find out if the fans if they're truly in love with Cody as like the guy,
Oh, they are.
or if they were more in love with the climb itself. Like think Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, they were so behind him, like they had that whole Raw takeover and that whole thing, and then they booed Batista at the Royal Rumble, and then it was like I felt like a lot of fans were in love with the climb, and then when Daniel Bryan got hurt, when he did climb the mountain and he won the belt, and then he was like gone for a minute, then it was not the same. Like that magic was not there. I don't know if that'll happen to Cody or not. We're gonna have to wait and see. But when that referee's hand hit 3, I don't know how I felt, because I was happy for Cody, love Cody. But at the same time, I loved Roman because Roman he's like, I don't know. It's like you knew what you had at the top. You knew you had a guy who was a draw, and you knew you had a guy that was going to put butts in seats and sell merchandise and all that stuff. And then when that hand hit 3, I was like, oh shoot, there it goes.
Mm-hmm.
There it goes. So like now I was a little nervous. I was happy, but then nervous because Roman busted his butt. He was that dude. He was that dude for years. So
And
now it's like,
and maybe that's why I'm uncomfortable, because like he's been that dude for years.
mm-hmm.
And maybe I hope they have that right. I hope he's the right dude. I really do. I hope Cody's the right dude.
And Nikki D, what you said, I think that perfectly kind of like explains it. Like that's what I was feeling is I'm very happy for Cody, but I'm afraid it might just be the climb that he did.
I mean, I'm very happy
Everybody
for
was
me
behind
too.
him.
But let's go over the faces of the WWE.
I got very few minutes.
That's fine. I can make it quick. Hogan, 80s and the early 90s. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, both of them had to share the responsibility.
Yep.
From new generation going into the Attitude Era. Austin Rock, same thing, shared the responsibility. John Cena, Ruthless Aggression. Supposed to be Brock Lesnar, but he said, hate to travel and hate people, so 86 this, I'm going to go play football.
Yep.
So it became John Cena. And then it was forced to be Roman Reigns until he became a heel.
Before he was ready, yeah. It was forced.
So he was the first corporate machine pushed face of the company that we all can say we hated.
Mm-hmm.
Because we would rather have had Daniel Bryan than Roman Reigns.
Not me. Mm-mm.
And that's
Put
fine.
the hater rate down, huge pop.
Yes. But it's just it's very hard. And now Cody is that next face of the company. I believe he's going to be, regardless of what happens, my opinion, he's the John Cena that we want.
Who's we?
I've always loved Cena.
Us fans.
Like 99% of casual fans will be like, Cody is good. Like most of them were. Cena was good.
Yep.
When it comes to the hardcore fan base, that's what's going to tell if Cody was over or not. I think Cody's over with the hardcores as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a real. I think we're in Triple H's golden era. So we're gonna use Cody as Hogan.
Ah, okay. Hey, they built it up for 2 years. And they built it up right. And I thought it wouldn't work, and I was wrong because he got even more fan support.
Exactly.
And speaking of Triple H too, am I the only one who caught the fact that he replicated Triple H's entrance for one of his WrestleManias? Now, granted, he had that helmet on, which is kind of like the Cody thing, but yeah, that I saw Triple H and Stephanie, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, because
I said that to Lena.
Yeah, because he's always said that Triple H was his favorite wrestler. So when he did that, I was like, that is so cool that Cody did that. So
also, quick side note, the guy that did Bray Wyatt's masks, he did Cody's mask as well.
Nice.
Oh shoot, I did not know that.
So one last question before I get off here. What did The Rock hand Cody Rhodes last night?
I can answer this. I actually can answer this with confidence.
Okay.
So Cody Rhodes had noted either in a podcast, an interview, something, and said that I have this silver watch and 3 other people have the silver watch. Roman had it at the Hall of Fame, and I'm going to assume that it's Seth and Rock. I think Rock handed back the watch when he said, "Don't break my heart again," meaning don't bitch out and leave when you lose, as a gesture of good faith, as, yes, you are my champion, but I will be coming for that belt.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do too.
I also like the idea. Someone said it's a lighter because The Rock said it. But I hope it's like that. I hope it is that. But prediction, not a spoiler. Yeah, spoiler, not a prediction. I believe Rock is going to beat his ass and be our champion sooner than later.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Not yet.
Oh yeah. So anyway, I really do have to go, guys. It's been a wonderful hour and a half with everybody. Even though Bryson couldn't get his internet together, hope he's hearing me.
Be money.
But it's been awesome picking apart night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Guys, can't wait till next Monday and Tuesday for another round that we with 4 of you guys. I really appreciate every single one of you, even though you guys put up with my crying because Cody Rhodes is champ. I think
we'll get over it.
We'll get over it. Anybody that's watching the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast, tune in at noon tomorrow Central Time. I have the opportunity to interview WXW, which is Alpha's promotion, his TV champion Chico Adams, and he is on Saturday for the final battle at WXW. He is fighting Bobby Fish. So we'll hear about Bobby Fish and all that stuff, plus a bunch more. So again, thank you, Cody. Thank you, Rico. Thank you, Nikki D. And everybody that's watching, like Cody said, he's going to put this on YouTube as a video here tonight or tomorrow.
Yep.
So look out for that. Anybody have any closing statements before I play the music?
No, just thank you guys for watching and tuning in, man.
Yep.
Cody?
Fun.
Thank you guys for watching the YouTube channel. Please keep on subscribing to the YouTube channel. Likes, click, subscribe, share. Helps us out. The more people that watch, the better content we can put out. So we love you all, and thank you for the support.
Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. We're out.
All my dogs, make some noise up in this house. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your head is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your head is knocked out. Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with the devil, because when he's dealing with you, you cannot get on this level. Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with a king. It's like a fight with an army. They got the tanks and everything. He's leaving bruises and stitches, possibly leaving you crippled, cause when he sets up the table and sends you straight through the middle. 6 sadistic free, beat that ass with a light bulb. Leave a piece of glass embedded in the back of your skull. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know it's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know it's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better